America is looking to lift crippling sanctions off the Venezuelan people so Chevron can come in there and suck their natural resources, their oil, out of there to alter the US election because the prices at the pump are ridiculous. And one way to cover up what's going on with the Saudis and what's going on with Iran is to try to get the second biggest world reserve of oil from Venezuela. Now, if I was the president of Venezuela, I would say fuck no to this deal. Absolutely not, because America sanctioned my people during COVID. They wouldn't even allow medicine to come in. At the same time, America tried to overthrow me, right? With the fake president they try to put in, the CIA from America, I lives in America, and they say he is the president. The people of the country didn't even vote for him. So to come and think about dealing with the Americans, you got to be nuts, Mr. President of Venezuela, because look all the unilateral decisions they made. So they'll make an agreement and they'll step out of it when it's in their best interest. So it may sound like, Americans giving you a carrot, but they're going to use you as a donkey. And you already know that you already been used like a donkey. You already been sanctioned like a donkey. So the world is changing. And if I was the president of Venezuela, I would not take this deal, especially the way the sanctions crippled my country, crippled the people, crippled the infants, crippled the single mothers, okay? Because that's what sanctions do. They create hardship for the people to squeeze them to have a revolution or fake colorful revolution. But the people of Venezuela, they love their president. That's why they never did that. Even when the CIA tried to have a coup, just in the last president, see, Trump's Bolton try to put this other dude as a president, and they try to overthrow him. They give him all this money, the weapons, but the people rose up in Venezuela. So now it's crazy that, in one way, us as American government, they're willing to sanctions a country, make their whole people suffer. But when it's for our own interest, we're willing to ease up the sanctions. All of a sudden, we're willing to forget that they're not a democracy. And that's the problem with America, is because we believe our democracy is the only way to do it, and anyone else is doing it a different way, that they're wrong, that they're unsophisticated, that they're savages, just like we call the Native Americans, right? The same thing that we call the black slaves that we controlled, right? So the problem is that we think our way is the best way. It may be, it may not be, but other people have the right to do what they want to do, right? And for us to interfere in other countries and throw coups and sanction them is just not a fair policy in my book, okay? Why? Because we have so many problems internally, from homelessness, so many vets committing suicide, all these wars we fought. I mean, we always blanketed up all of our wars with democracy. On the top, we put this bacon of democracy. In the middle, we put all the guts and glory and pain and suffering inside. So there's not one country that we went to in the past 10, 20, 30 years that we put democracy in there and they thrive. We went to these countries, we wrapped it up with the bacon of democracy, we overthrew their elective governments. We killed Americans. We killed a lot of their own people. If you're talking about Iraq, if you're talking about so many different countries, right? And then, end of the day, those countries didn't have a democracy. They actually have a vacuum of chaos. Look at Afghanistan. Look what's going on in Iraq. So I don't believe the bacon, the wrap of democracy, that we're going to go rescue them. We're going to be Captain Save-A-Ho. We're going to go save these people. But in reality, what we're doing is we're stealing their natural resources. What we're doing is we're sucking them dry. We're giving them debts that we know they can't pay. When we're stealing their stuff at a point of a gun or through sanctions, through the monetary system. And I think the world's starting to wake up to that. That's why we're having a shift in the world order. That's why we're having new currencies. That's why we have Bitcoin, because people want to be sovereign of themselves. No one wants to bully. And I think that America, unfortunately, is just bullying so many people. We caused so many wars. And this is a great example that we talk from both of our mouth. One minute we're saying these Venezuelans are so bad, the next minute say we're willing to ease the sanctions. We're just, as long as we can suck their oil, as long as Chevron can make millions of dollars, as long as it's going to affect my election as Joe Biden, because gas prices go up, I'm not going to get reelected. So it's like baloney. I see through that, and that's why I make this video for you guys. Is that you can't listen to the propaganda on TV? They lie. They lie. This is just my opinion, but I would like for you to think for yourself and think about what I just said. Thanks so much for watching.